Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of City Council on Tuesday, June 24th, 2025. Would the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Here.
Mr. Coghill. Ms. Gross.
Here.
Mr. Mosley.
Here.
Mrs. Kill-Smith.
Here.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Here.
Mrs. Warwick. Mr. Wilson. Mr. Lavelle, President.
Here.
6 members present.
Thank you. For those who are able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our next order of business is to amend the agenda. Is there a motion to amend?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Our next order of business is proclamations, and I believe we have 2 to be read into the record, one from Councilman Mosley, one from Councilman Coghill.
Mr. Councilman Mosley presents, be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare June 28th, 2025 to be Shadow Lounge Day in the City of Pittsburgh. And Councilman Coghill presents, be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Saturday, June 28th, 2025 to be Ken Cole Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
Thank you. May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And I apologize, Councilwoman Smith, you have one to be presented, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I apologize.
You might want to come up with this one.
Okay.
You can stay there, stay there. Will the Adam Cosgrove and the Mustache, World Beard and Mustache Championship, please come forward. I was wondering if you were all here for this. I didn't want to assume. So I made my colleague come up with us too. Where's Council President? He has a beard too. Council President, you have a beard?
Pretty good representation.
Yeah.
How are you? Thank you.
I'll just tell you, when I first met Adam Cosgrove, he asked me to do a proclamation for Beard and Mustache. He was the Mustache Man of America, right?
2012, still riding high.
2012, he was the Mustache Man of America. And I told him the women in my family are going to dethrone him. Lebanese women can grow beards. So, anyway. Whereas the World Beard and Mustache Championships is a time-honored international tradition that celebrates not only the art and skill of facial hair grooming, but the community, creativity, and camaraderie of beardsmen and enthusiasts around the globe. And whereas, since its modern founding in 1990 in Germany, the championships have traveled the world, from alpine villages of Austria to the streets of Austin and Anchorage, bringing together competitors from every continent to show their facial hair mastery in over 24 competitive categories. And whereas in 2025, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is honored to be the host of this one-of-a-kind global event, welcoming hundreds of competitors and spectators to the cultural heart of our region at Heinz Hall over 3 festive days, July 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And whereas in 2025, World Beard and Mustache Championships are proudly hosted by the Pennsylvania chapter of Mad Viking Beard Club, whose commitment to fellowship, facial hair, and philanthropy will shine throughout this celebration, including generous support for the UPMC's Children's Hospitals Foundation. And whereas this year's event upholds the mission of the World Beard and Mustache Association to promote friendship among those with facial hair and those who admire it, to elevate the global appreciation of beards and mustaches, and to use creativity and compassion to bring people together. And whereas the World Beard and Mustache Championships is a time-honored international tradition that celebrates not only the art and skill of facial hair grooming, but the community, creativity, and camaraderie, I think we read that, of the beards enthusiasts around the globe. And now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh, therefore be it resolved, is the county exec here? No. I think she's supposed to be here. Now therefore be it resolved that we, County Executive Sarah Honorato and City Councilwoman Teresa Kell-Smith, by virtue and authority vested in us, do hereby designate July 3rd through the 5th, 2025 as World Beard and Mustache Championship Week in Allegheny County.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Thank you, as always.
Wait, I'm gonna say, do you guys wanna say something? You wanna say something first, President?
Thank you. Admittedly, I was unaware of the organization, so thank you for proudly being involved. Thank you for all that you're going to do to bring people from around the world to Pittsburgh. I'm just happy to be able to say what hair I have. So, oh, there is? What's it called? Business beard. Okay. Okay.
I'm nominating them. You wanna say a few words?
I just want to say congratulations. I mean, this was definitely an education. I didn't know that, there was a global movement for facial hair. I'm glad that, people are coming to Pittsburgh. It's going to be great for our economy and to have, hopefully new visitors come to the city and experience, our city. I do want to give a shout out to my barber, Ty Pritchard, who keeps me looking fresh. And maybe I will, check, what is it, the professional?
Business beard.
World Beard and Mustache Champion.
But what category? Business beard. I don't know. You might see me this weekend in the business beard competition.
I'm gonna give it to Kahari.
I would, yeah. Thank you. So I would just want to thank the councilwoman for always supporting the things we do. Part of why we get really amazing events like this in Pittsburgh is because we have the support of a city that's willing to just be really fun. And so some of the numbers, we have 14 countries represented, almost 400 people registered to compete, plus the family that they bring. We're expecting probably over 2,000 people to come through. It's going to be the furriest and fuzziest weekend in Pittsburgh history, I think, when all is said and done.
Yeah, right.
Check it out. I would say, too, I just want to give Erin a shout out here for the website and all the work that she has done on the back end. She's just going to embarrass her for a moment. Jason, who couldn't be here, who is the president of the Mad Viking Beard Club, he put in the bid 4 years ago, so this has been a labor of love and not sleeping and being anxious for 4 years. But we are so excited to have everybody in Pittsburgh. We've got West Coast represented all the way across East Coast, North and South here on stage, and everybody's just rolling in, and we can't thank you all enough. So, thanks. No, they're just here to look good. Good. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Let's introduce them. Just,
Oh, yeah. Now you have to. And where are you from?
Hi, I'm Natalie Johnston. I'm from Aiken, South Carolina, and I'm a whiskerina, which is a woman who competes in bearding. I make it, don't grow it. Thank you.
And she's won national and world championships in every category.
And I'm her husband. I'm Aaron Johnston. I'm also from Aiken, South Carolina.
I don't know what to say.
Anthony Cardi from Los Angeles.
I am Andrew Matson from Sparta, Wisconsin.
I'm Erin Nipper from Grove City, Pennsylvania.
I'm her husband.
I'm Scott Hanty. I'm originally from the Pittsburgh area, but I live on the eastern shore of Maryland now.
we'll have to bring you back. Everybody else want to get in the picture? I can say, when I first met Adam, he approached me, he wanted a dog park in Mount Washington, so he's the one who started the dog park in Mount Washington, works for CMU, and does the beard and mustache.
Never a dull day. Thank you. We're so excited. It's going to be awesome.
You guys stand next to him.
Thank you. We hope to see everybody.
John, you look like a baby face now.
Thanks, everybody.
Where's Adam? Is it Adam? I was going to do it too. I was going to grab the reel, but boy, I can't believe we think alike.
Our next order of business will be public comment. I would like to remind everyone that the rules of council state that comments are limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation which may be before city council, and profanity will not be permitted. After you are called, please restate your name, provide your neighborhood for the record, and you'll be given 3 minutes to speak. Our first registered speaker is Dr. Ronald M. Miller.
Dr. Ronald Reynaldo, Lynn Miller Molinario, Carrick, Ciudad de Mexico, Benito Juarez Subcity especially, Global Intelligentsia, Sociedad, candidate for President USA, 2028. I'm a member of a lot of different associations which include the Linguistic Society of America, the American Physical Society. The concern of this council is partnerships. This is consistent with Initiative 6 of my RLM 2028 approach. This has to do with city allies and country alliances. Consider the Sherlock to Watson, Johnny Lee Miller, and Lucy Liu Elementary, Season 1, Episode 16. Should Watson leave Sherlock? I urge I ask that you consider a proposal. Stay on as my companion. Continue to reside at the Brownstone, reside elsewhere. Consider yourself relieved of any confidentiality burdens regarding me. This is an important decision, and I encourage you to discuss it with others. Explain what you have been to me and what I believe you can be to me, a partner. Unless you think that this is an act of charity, I assure you that it is not. I am better with you, Watson. Is this city better with Gainey? Will it be better with O'Connor or Moreno or anybody else? Partner, parello. That is what I want. Inter-individually, inter-institutionally, internationally. That is why I established the Global Information Intelligence Network.net. We need a mayor, president, partner who recognizes Palestine as a state, who can relate to others in English and Espanol, who can read Rend, anti-historical Mexico, U.S. Mythologies, who can run an institution for 25 years, and who can deal with global climate change. All of these apply to the president of Mexico, Dr. Claudia Sheinbaum, and they apply to me. There is no city more importante as a partner for Pittsburgh than Mexico City. No country that is more important than to the United States of America, in my view, than Estados Unidos Mexicanos. We need less bombs, less bombastic. We need more of her.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Max Blair.
Good morning. My name is Max Blair. I'm a musician in the Pittsburgh Symphony, and I'm a volunteer campaigner with Plant-Based Treaty. I moved to Pittsburgh in 2016, and I live in Lawrenceville. Climate change is an issue that has been top of mind for me for many years. I love to dream about what the future of humanity might entail, but that future is threatened by the destabilizing effects of a warming world. In my view, climate change is not one issue among many, but rather a threat to the very foundations of civilization on which everything else depends. While fossil fuels dominate the conversation around climate change, animal agriculture is often overlooked. Yet even if we stopped burning fossil fuels today, emissions from farming animals alone would push us past the 1.5 degree warming threshold. That's the level at which we risk triggering climate tipping points that could lead to widespread ecological collapse. Animal agriculture emits greenhouse gases through deforestation, methane emissions from burping cows, manure management, and inefficiencies of feeding crops to animals instead of eating the crops directly. Feed conversion ratios vary, but even the most efficient animals are less efficient than plant-based sources of protein like legumes, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. Plant-Based Treaty is an international campaign working to spotlight the environmental impact of animal agriculture and accelerate the transition to a more sustainable food system. We do this by gathering endorsements from individuals, businesses, and governments with the goal of pressuring national and international leaders to adopt policies that promote plant-based diets. We're here today to ask you to consider endorsing Plant-Based Treaty on behalf of Pittsburgh. In 2018, a landmark study out of Oxford found that if the world adopted a plant-based diet, we could free up 75% of agricultural land. This land could be rewilded, drawing down carbon and restoring critical ecosystems. Recently, we collaborated with Dr. Joseph Poor, one of the study's authors, to estimate what the impact would be if Pittsburgh overhauled our food system. A citywide shift to a plant-based diet would prevent the emissions equivalent to taking 390,000 cars off the road. We would also save enough water to fill 3,500 Olympic swimming pools each year and free up land 21 times the size of the city itself. Please consider endorsing the Plant-Based Treaty. Changing what we eat is one of the most powerful climate interventions available. As evidenced by last week's heat wave, climate change is no longer a distant threat. It is affecting our lives here and now. I hope we won't miss this opportunity to take bold action. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Ellen Dent.
Hi, my name is Ellen Dent, and I live in the Pittsburgh area. And I'm a global campaigner for Plant-Based Treaty. And I have helped secure endorsements from Los Angeles and West Hollywood. So Los Angeles in 2022, West Hollywood more recently in 2024. I've represented Plant-Based Treaty at the United Nations a few times. And I'm going back to the high-level political forum next month to represent Plant-Based Treaty again. I've had the honor of discussing Plant-Based Treaty briefly with Mayor Gainey, whose assistant, Ms. Lori, was nice enough to put us in touch with the Department of City Planning, and we met with Flora Marian and Melissa Hill. I found out about the adverse effects our food systems have on the climate about 6 years ago while I was pregnant with my daughter. I was completely alarmed that our current food system is causing over a third of greenhouse gas emissions. We are facing a methane crisis. After finding this out, I immediately sprang into action and started giving speeches at youth climate strikes in Los Angeles and other climate rallies on the need to transition to plant-based food systems with my pregnant belly in tow, with my future growing inside of me. The city of Pittsburgh already has so many wonderfully forward-thinking policies in the Climate Action Plan, including increasing the supply and demand of locally grown produce, working with schools to encourage healthy eating habits, and reducing beef consumption by 30%. They also promote plant-rich diets, so you all promote plant-rich diets, so thank you for that. Even with all of these great initiatives, more can be done to address sustainable food in this amazing city. This is where Plant-Based Treaty comes in. After endorsing the treaty, West Hollywood has run public education campaigns like Veganuary, as well as sponsored and participated in our Food Day event in April as part of LA Climate Week. I even had the privilege of being on a panel with the mayor of West Hollywood, Chelsea Byers. We can help Pittsburgh achieve its sustainability goals and lower its emissions to net zero, but it will not happen without putting food systems change at the forefront of actions taken to achieve this. The cost savings of plant-based initiatives are dramatic, and the efforts are much lower in comparison to decarbonization and electrification of the grid. The results can often be measured in 6 to 12 months. So I urge Pittsburgh to join the other 41 governments that have endorsed Plant-Based Treaty in making it an international call to make Plant-Based Treaty a companion to the UNFCCC Paris Agreement. We are ready and happy to meet and discuss our proposals at any time, and I hope that you will give us the opportunity to meet with you. Thank you for your time and considering Plant-Based Treaty as a solution, because what we do in Pittsburgh can help change the world. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Our next registered speaker is Alexandra Weiner. Or Weiner. I do not see them online. We can come back. Our next speaker is Caroline Kambabile.
Good morning. My name is Caroline Kumpumal, and I'm an educator and advocate for a more just and sustainable future. I'm here today in support of the plant-based treaty and to urge you to endorse it as part of Pittsburgh's path towards climate leadership. As a science teacher, I work every day to help young people understand the systems that shape our world, from ecosystems to economies. What I've learned and what I teach is this: our food system is one of the most overlooked yet most powerful levers for environmental change. Switching to plant-based food systems is not about individual perfection, it's about systemic impact. Plant-based policies can buy us critical time. According to research, transitioning to plant-based diets can delay climate tipping points by up to 16 years. That's time to develop solutions, strengthen infrastructure, and protect the communities we love. We talk about decarbonizing buildings and electrifying transit, and those efforts are essential, but food is an area where cities can act immediately, affordably, and equitably. People often feel powerless in the face of global climate collapse, but food is a domain where we do have agency. And when local governments lead, people follow. The Climate Action Plan is a strong start, but with the plant-based treaty, we can go further. This treaty gives Pittsburgh a framework grounded in science, equity, and global collaboration. Redirect, relinquish, restore. That means shifting support to plant-based initiatives, halting the expansion of animal agriculture, and restoring the ecosystems we've harmed. 41 cities, including West Hollywood, Amsterdam, and Belfast, have already partnered with Plant-Based Treaty and implemented plant-based initiatives, starting with public information campaigns. It's time for Pittsburgh to join them. This isn't just about climate, it's about public health, food justice, and making Pittsburgh a model for sustainable urban living. Pittsburgh has a long history of innovation, and this is our moment to shape what leadership looks like in a climate-challenged world. Please endorse the Plant-Based Treaty. Let's move forward together. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Jordan Bota.
Good morning, members of City Council. I'm Jordan Bota, and I have lived in Bloomfield for several years. I have the honor of serving as the Allegheny County Council member for District 13, which includes a number of neighborhoods right here in the city of Pittsburgh. I have the pleasure to know everyone here. I've got an existing relationship with you, whether that's a good or a bad thing. But today I'm not here to lobby or legislate. I'm here as a neighbor who believes in good policy and even better pups. I'm here today to propose something simple but meaningful, and that's for our two bodies to work together to modernize the dog licensing process for our four-legged friends. As it stands, City of Pittsburgh residents are still required to print out a form and mail in a physical check or money order to get a dog license. Meanwhile, Allegheny County offers an online portal that accepts digital payment and makes renewing far more accessible. Here's the issue. We live in an age where we can file taxes, renew driver's licenses, and register to vote online. Yet to license a dog in the city of Pittsburgh, we still expect residents to have access to a printer and a checkbook. I actually printed this out at work because my printer's on the fritz. For many people, particularly seniors and younger residents, that's just not a given. Older adults might not have a computer or a printer at home, and younger folks don't even own a checkbook. We're putting up unnecessary roadblocks for something that should be quick, intuitive, and seamless. Dog licensing isn't just a formality. It's a public safety issue, it's a tool for animal welfare, and it helps us return lost pets to their owners. It also raises vital funds for our shelters and enforcement agencies. But we can't expect compliance from residents if the process itself is stuck in the last century. That's why I'm proposing a joint working group between Allegheny County and the City of Pittsburgh, a focused, collaborative team to evaluate how we can harmonize our systems, share data, and ensure that residents across jurisdictions have a modern, unified way to license their pets. Let's make this process mobile-friendly, secure, and equitable. Let's make it easier for residents to do the right thing. And let's be honest, our canine constituents are doing their part. They keep us company, bring us joy, and are often the heart of our homes. The least we can do is make it a little easier for their humans to keep them safe, cared for, and properly registered. Thank you for the opportunity to speak, and I look forward to working together to move this forward.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Jeffrey Bingham.
Good morning, Council. My name is Jeff Bigham. I'm a resident of Squirrel Hill, District 8. I'm also a board member in a local nonprofit called Inform Up. So it's informup.org. And we report weekly on City Council. So what we do is we take City Council business, we distill that into 3 main themes. We publish that to our readership along with a survey. and then we report back so that we can share our readers' preferences with all of you. So last week we had 57 respondents, and our top 3 issues, which I'll go over now, are as follows. So number 1, gender identity, the healthcare ordinance for gender identity. So we have 72% of our respondents support the ban on denying or withholding coverage. 70% of those are strongly support. One person said, as a pharmacist, I support the protection of healthcare for all patients, regardless of gender identity and sexual orientation. These decisions belong to the provider and patient. On the other side, we had 21% of our respondents oppose, mostly strongly. Our second issue was public hearings before grant applications for major planning. On this, we had 57% rate the hearings as very or extremely important. Another 24% said they were moderately important. 19% see them only as slightly or not at all important, with some arguing that it can slow down routine grant work. Our third issue is citizen review for buildings and public spaces. So 74% agree that structures such as the proposed fencing in Allegheny Commons should go through a public review, with 39% saying strongly agree. And one of our residents said, public comment periods should always be made available when changes are proposed to public spaces. Development in third spaces is a matter of public interest. We should be defending community-minded projects rather than eating away at park space in the furtherance of private gain. We also had a free response area where one of the respondents said, what specific considerations is the council making when it comes to the ecological and environmental impacts of short, mid, and long-term railroad equipment storage? So that's our issues for this week. Again, we're with informup.org. Thank you for taking those views into account in your deliberations, and we'll send the complete survey responses in time for tomorrow's standing committee meeting to allow more people to respond, for you to have access. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Michael Hedvajdik.
Good morning. My name is Michael Vozdik, and I was born and raised in McKeesport. I work as an engineer at a medical equipment reprocessing company and have represented the plant-based treaty at the United Nations on multiple occasions. I also spent a year doing hurricane relief work in Puerto Rico and other Caribbean islands, where I witnessed firsthand the immense suffering caused by natural disasters. As our planet continues to warm, these events will become increasingly frequent and severe. I worry deeply about the human cost, especially for the world's poorest countries and communities, who have contributed the least to the problem, yet often face the most severe consequences. As our federal government rolls back key climate policies and promotes increased fossil fuel production, it's more important than ever for states and cities to step up and with bold climate action. By endorsing the plant-based treaty, Pittsburgh would be taking a meaningful step forward. I am proud that our city's climate action plan already includes a section on food and agriculture. The plant-based treaty can help advance those goals, such as encouraging residents to go meat-free 1 or more days a week through public information campaigns, collaborative events, and by making city-sponsored gatherings plant-based by default. The diffusion of innovations theory explains how new ideas gain momentum and spread. When a critical mass is reached, changes come quickly. Right now, plant-based food policy is in an earlier adopter phase. As a lifelong Pittsburgh area resident, I would be very happy to see our city step up as a leader. By acting now, we can bring positive attention to Pittsburgh and help catalyze the movement needed to address the climate impacts of our food system. Please consider endorsing the plant-based treaty and bringing Pittsburgh one step closer to its net zero goals. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Allison McLeod, excuse me. I do not see her online. Our next speaker is Robert I apologize. Senislow.
Perfect. Good morning to the City Council and community members of Pittsburgh. My name is Rob Sanislow, and I am a volunteer campaigner with the Plant-Based Treaty. I have lived in the greater Pittsburgh area since I was 10 years old and was a resident of the city of Pittsburgh for several years while attending Duquesne University. Like many members of my community, I am deeply concerned about the climate crisis we are currently facing. Promoting plant-based foods is among the most cost-effective ways to help the planet. I remember my personal devastation seeing the fires in the Amazon rainforest burning, only to find out that the single greatest contributor to the destruction of this rainforest, which acts as the lungs of the earth, isn't paper or fuel, but land clearing for cows and their feed. This really hit home with me and made me realize that I could help do my part by choosing to eat plant-based foods, and realizing that none of us will be able to reach any of our climate goals or even ensure we have breathable air in the future for our future generations unless we move away from these destructive practices. I respectfully urge the Pittsburgh City Council to adopt the plant-based treaty, which calls governments to relinquish the expansion of animal agriculture, redirect subsidies, and support a just transition toward plant-based foods, as well as restore ecosystems degraded by food production. This treaty serves as a powerful public commitment to sustainable policy and community values while preserving individual freedoms through a focus on education and institutional changes. Pittsburgh has a strong history of progressive leadership, and this initiative aligns with and strengthens its climate equity goals. Pittsburgh can join the other 41 other cities around the world in holistic climate leadership and being on the forefront of the change for climate change. In the midst of this climate crisis, I respectfully once again urge the Council to endorse the plant-based treaty and make Pittsburgh a model for comprehensive, forward-thinking environmental policy. Thank you so much for your time and consideration. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Allison, no, we called her. Our next speaker is Tara Solomon.
Hello, can you all hear me all right?
Yes.
Great. Good morning, Mayor Gainey and the members of the City Council. My name is Tara Solomon and I reside in Shadyside. I moved to Pittsburgh this past October and now run a small IT business here. And I'm here today as an independent voice advocating for the city to endorse the plant-based treaty. In my relatively short time here so far, I've been pleasantly surprised and enthused about Pittsburgh's demonstrated commitment to improving residents' well-being. As a personal example, I live car-free, primarily relying on my bike to carry out my day-to-day affairs. This lifestyle preference of mine, which I find instrumental for my health and quality of life, is only possible thanks to the city's sustained investment in non-car transportation infrastructure. It's a luxury I never had in Texas, which is where I previously lived, as car dependence was effectively mandatory there. I hope to appeal today to that same forward-thinking ethos of the city, which holds human well-being as a starting point rather than an afterthought. It is no secret now that cars are not great for the environment, to say the least. However, while not everyone can realistically transition to living car-free in the short term, for a wide range of reasons, nearly every one of us has more substantial and acute agency over the food we eat. And the choices we make in this domain, both individual and societal, matter immensely for our climate future and consequently, the well-being of all people across the world. It's easy to feel that individual actions are insignificant, but they compound powerfully at scale. Research shows that shifting to a plant-based diet reduces an individual's annual carbon footprint by about 1 metric ton of CO2 equivalents in the US. That's a massive slice of the global average footprint of 4.7 tons. After further accounting for life cycle assessment, researchers estimate a global shift to plant-based diets could yield a 28% reduction in human-derived global greenhouse gas emissions each year. And this is before even considering other dramatic environmental benefits, such as reversing deforestation, restoring biodiversity, decreasing water use, reducing pandemic vulnerability, and many other benefits. On the policy side of the equation, the federal government subsidizes the animal agriculture industry to the tune of tens of billions of dollars annually. These subsidies far exceed those for plant-derived food items, making these unhealthy, high-emission foods artificially cheap. Endorsing the plant-based treaty as a city builds significant movement towards eventual policy changes at all levels of government that will reward sustainable food systems rather than financially advantaging unsustainable ones. Hopefully one day, those tens of billions of dollars will go towards supporting our health and the sustainability of our food systems rather than promoting unsustainable ones. On the topic of health, it is a common misconception that primarily plant-based diets may come with nutritional sacrifices. In contrast, the consensus of major health organizations worldwide state otherwise. For example, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, which is the largest organization of nutrition experts in the world, affirmed that appropriately planned vegetarian and vegan dietary patterns can not only be nutritionally adequate, but further can yield many long-term health benefits. Thus, spreading awareness and resources on best ways to plan a predominantly plant-based diet is a vital educational avenue to support the uptake of sustainable and health-promoting dietary choices. Transforming our food system is one of the fastest and most significant levers we have in buying critical time in tackling this existential.
Thank you very much. Our last registered speaker is Aikahana Haumalkina.
Greetings and good day. My title is Chief Ikahana Haumalkina. I recently attended a workshop presented by Brady United. Brady United is against gun violence. The theme for the workshop was where are the guns coming from? In this workshop, I gained detailed information about where the vast majority of the guns used in violent crimes were coming from. City Council, we have a supply chain issue on our hands. 5% of the dealers, the gun dealers, are supplying 90% of the guns that are used in inner city crimes. This is an easy fix to reduce violence in the city and surrounding areas. We work collectively to rid our city of those bad actors who don't follow the rules and directly contribute to gun violence that plague our inner city. There are meaningful steps that can be taken to keep guns out of the hands of the youth. It shouldn't be easier to buy a gun than it is to obtain cough syrup. The rules and regulations and standards must change. Currently, if you or I go to a pharmacy to buy cough syrup and desire to buy multiple bottles, we are stopped in our tracks and restricted to only buying one. It's a no-brainer that the same standard must apply to guns, which will mitigate the use of handguns in violent crime. Did you know that there are more gun stores than there are McDonald's and Starbucks combined across this nation? Startling, right? Another fact that was shared during this workshop was how Pittsburghers' tax dollars were being spent with a company by the name of Markle Supply Company. Markle is where the police bureau buys their guns and ammo. They are currently on the Demand 2 program. You should look it up, where they have 25 or more violations at this very same store. And ironically enough, the guns from Markle are showing up in violent crimes used in the city. Think about that. The solution to this problem is easy. Have the ATS and local authorities do pop-up site visits and annual trace reports. The information is available. We must take a holistic approach and a wraparound approach to changing this narrative by taking a closer look at the supply chain issue that directly impacts us all. The stop and frisk addresses the person with the gun. It is about time that we put pressure on the dealers who also are causing this problem in our city. They are a nuisance. And it's about time that we take a closer look at them because they are violating the law. And you must do something about it. Thank you for your time and have a good day.
Thank you. That exhausts our list of registered speakers, so we'll now take comments from those in chambers. If there's anyone wishing to speak, please come forward at this time. Provide your name and neighborhood for the record.
Good morning. My name is Yvonne F. Brown. I live at 715 Mercer Street. That's in the KD Irvis's Tires. That's at the top of Bedford, that tall high rise. You weren't here last week, Mr. Lavelle, but I wanted to bring to your attention, and you can probably explain what happened. We have where a company took the building, I think it was Lecce School, and made apartments. Okay, so the people that live back behind in those apartments are coming up to Bedford. There's an old abandoned church, And so they put up their grill, and all the families and stuff, they're out there. Even the man in the wheelchair took his shirt off and went up into the garage where there's homeowners. The only reason why I'm saying something is because they've come and they've put people in the building, and the people have nowhere to socialize. So they come on the main street. Them are homeowners. Them houses cost a lot of money. And I myself live in the high rise, and I can see all that smoke going right into those people's homes. One. Number two, who's head of safety? All them trucks that are coming up through our community, digging up the dirt and stuff, none of them, well, very few have anything to keep that dirt in. The only reason why I noticed it, because I'm up on the 3rd floor, and I seen the truck, the dirt coming up, but then I seen another truck, and they have a screen. There's a screen. But then I seen a truck that has it's encamped. It's encased. The dirt cannot get out. All those trucks should be like that. And I don't know why you're not saying it. They should be fined. Because you talk about pollution, I have asthma. And with the weather, the hot weather, the dust coming up from trucks that are supposed to be fixing our roads. Another thing, ride through the Hill District. Mr. Lavelle up on Bedford, where they fix the hole, you almost fall into it. I have a low car, and it's dragging. But go out in Greenfield, go out there. All the streets that they have fixed, you'll have no trouble with the bumps and holes and dirt. Mr. Lavelle, go to Bedford and ride up there and see. I'm telling you, they make a difference in the Hill District. You know that Miss Gross has said when the police was supposed to come up there, the mayor decided not to, and that's when we had the police to go down on 5th Avenue. And they said, who do you got to call? Who do you have when they sent the black police to jail? They came down, they beat that man. I'm not beat him, they tasered him in his business. A black businessman, they actually went in his business and tasered him. That's the same as going in your home and tasing you.
Next speaker, please.
Good morning, council people. My name is William Satterwhite. I'm sorry to talk a little funny because I had a stroke. I'm from up the Lincoln Livingston section of town. And out the last 35 years, nothing has been done. No work, no nothing, no nothing. I'm 61 years old, and I've seen a lot up there that hasn't been done, nothing. There's a lot of little things that's hopefully going to be done. I'm at work with Miss Pamela Collier while she's in office with Ed Gainey, and I put a couple of things in I think that need to be done in my community. Okay? Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. Therese Taylor, the missing child, also known as Special Agent Sunshine. God calls me special. I'm a special agent for God. So if anybody has any question about my authority, why I'm here, ask him. He's the one sent me. In Jesus' name. Proverbs 17:23 says, "The wicked take secret bribes to pervert the course of justice." Somebody's trying to get me arrested so that I don't receive what y'all stole from me. And it's just not going to happen because I'm not a criminal. So stop. Please stop. I pray every day, God, open my eyes. Show me all deception. I'm looking at it. Y'all pay people to set me up, huh? To try and put drugs in my luggage. I'm the woman he chose to remove drugs from the face of this earth. You don't think that he can give me the power, the strength, and the authority to do it? He can, and I will. Psalm 94, 16, 17 says, "Who will rise up for me? against the evildoers? Who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Here I stand. He sent me here. I didn't know about this place. I didn't know y'all were involved with the theft of my inheritance trust and what's left for me in a will. But here you are, and here I am. This is where he sent me. He's telling me, look at them, sunshine. Look at them. There they go. They have everything to do with it. But we, 2 Corinthians 3:18 says, and we who with unveiled faces all reflect the Lord's glory and being transformed into his likeness with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit. That's where my glory comes from, the crown he put on my head for sharing his word. Who would have thought when I graduated from Georgia Medical Institute that I would be standing here speaking publicly in front of the world about what he said? I'm not concerned about what anybody else is talking about. That's why I don't have a phone for anybody who wants to know that. Proverbs 12:2 says, good people obtain favor from the Lord, but he condemns a crafty man, like my uncle, who's a child molester. Wow. In Jesus' name I pray that he's protected from the things he's done. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, members of the Pittsburgh City Council. My name is Dr. Sharnae Hearn Davis. Today I stand here before you as your colleagues. I have been blessed to work with you all in many different capacities as a former City of Pittsburgh employee, but also as a City of Pittsburgh community leader. So if I haven't had the blessing to work with you yet, I look forward to working with you in the future. So I got a little days mixed up, but I believe that following God makes no mistakes. So I'm going to start us by preparing us for tomorrow. So this is a message to you all. So I do not take you all's jobs lightly. You all have a lot of heavy load to work, but you also have a responsibility to serve your constituents. So tomorrow we will be meeting to talk about the urgency to pass the Stop the Violence Fund, which cannot be overstated. As the ongoing war on poverty continues to claim lives and devastate families, blood will be on your hands. Again, I say blood will be on your hands if action is delayed. I ask you, have you ever known someone who attempted suicide or someone who's been affected by gun violence? These experiences underscore the importance of violent prevention programs, whether supporting the Black mother needing after-school care while working multiple jobs or empowering urban agriculture farmers who's trying to develop emergency preparedness while we see everything around us being cut. This fund is a comprehensive, addressing root causes and providing opportunities where they are desperately needed. As elected officials, you have a moral and a civic responsibility to act swiftly and decisively, not just to only serve your constituents, but to prevent future tragedies in our communities, in our region. The time, we would say, is to act now, but the time was to act while we're still sitting on our reserve. People are counting on you. We're here to support you, and you don't have to make these decisions alone. This is your charge to do the right thing. Thank you, and have a blessed day.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please. Next speaker, please. Seeing no further speakers, we will turn to the presentation of papers. Oh, I apologize. There was one speaker who logged on late, and that is Matthew King.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Awesome, okay. My name is Matthew King, as you said, and I'm the president of the Christian Animal Rights Association. And I've met all you before, but I live in the South Hills. I've been a Pittsburgh area resident all my life. But I learned about the environmental impacts of farming animals through campaigning against the fur trade. Fur advocates will often argue that it's a natural product and therefore it's better for the environment than synthetic materials. But in fact, faux fur produces between 5 to 10 times fewer greenhouse gas emissions than real fur. And this is because of the inefficiency of producing feed to filter through for food. If we want climate goals, we have to move away from that. The big treaty, a plan was very good.
Mr. King.
But thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Mr. King. Just so you know, you were breaking up, so we could only hear partially. If you want to submit your comments in writing to the clerk's office, then council will receive them in their full. So beginning with the presentation of papers, we'll begin with Councilman Charlin, Chair of Human Resources.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilman Coghill, Chair of Public Safety and Wellness.
Councilman Coghill presents Bill Number 1984, Resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Pulse Point Foundation in an amount not to exceed $6,000 for the city's share of the license fee for the annual renewal of the Pulse Point Emergency Services application. Bill 1985, Resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Howell Rescue Services, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $6,264 for payment of preventative maintenance of hydraulic rescue tools. And Bill Number 1986, Resolution amending Resolution 715 of 2024, which authorized the mayor and the director of public safety to enter on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh into a professional services agreement or agreements and amendments thereto with 100 Public Safety, Inc., doing business as Performance Protocol to identify and implement additional solutions to address Pittsburgh Bureau of Police recruitment and retention challenges by increasing the approved amount by $40,000 for an amended total cost not to exceed $78,172 over 2 years.
Thank you. That takes us to Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill Number 1987, Resolution amending Resolution 524 of 2020, authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Innovation and Performance on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh to enter into a multi-year agreement or agreements with E-Plus Technology, Inc. for network monitoring and a security professional services partner aligned with key business goals of reducing risk, improving service efficiency, and minimizing client impact to include better network utilization, monitoring, and enhanced security posture throughout the enterprise by increasing the approved amount by $765,300 for an amended total cost not to exceed $1,249,493 over 9 years. And Bill Number 2000, Resolution authorizing council's consent to an extension pursuant to 92205E of the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances of the deadline for the Planning Commission to act to recommend approval or disapproval of Council Bill 2024-1214.
Madam Clerk, given Bill 2000 is an extension, it can be passed finally today, so if a member would offer a motion to approve finally.
Mr. President, a motion to approve Bill 2025-2000.
Second.
And roll call vote.
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Kell-Smith.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson. Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
Councilwoman Gross, the bill has been approved finally. Councilwoman Gross.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also, the council co-sponsor, the bill co-sponsored, I would like to also motion to hold the public hearing. I can make that motion now, or I could wait to motions and resolutions.
Let's do it under motions and resolutions.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. That takes us to Councilman Mosley, Chair of Intergovernmental Educational Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilman Mosley presents Bill Number 1988, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Safety to enter into an agreement or agreements with the United States Department of Agriculture for services relating to a cooperative wildlife damage management program for white-tailed deer for a sum not to exceed $99,494.05 over 1 year.
And Councilwoman Kell Smith, Chair of Recreation, Youth, and Senior Services.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Strasburger, Chair of Finance and Law.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilperson Strasburger presents Bill Number 1989, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the city solicitor to enter into a professional service agreement or agreements and amendments thereto with Block and Associates for legal consulting services in connection with the current city construction project for an amount not to exceed $40,000 over 1 year. And Bill Number 1990, Ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code, Title II, Fiscal, Article 3, Depositories, Chapter 221, Contracts, Section 22102, Requirements for Qualification, 22106, Creation of Reinvestment Review Committee, 22107, Evaluation of Financial Institutions, and Section 22109, Award of Banking Business so as to fix the term of contracts with financial institutions to 3 years.
And Councilwoman Warwick, Chair of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilwoman Warwick presents Bill Number 1991, Resolution authorizing pursuant to Chapter 210, Acceptance of Gifts to the City of the City Code, the mayor and the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure to accept a donation from Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership of a mobile parklet valued at $18,000 to be installed along the Three Rivers Heritage Trail at Dorr Street Trailhead. Bill 1992, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure and the director of the Department of Finance on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh to enter into an easement or easements and any amendments thereto in order to provide access and passage for the traveling public around the Brereton Street construction site at no cost to the city. Bill Number 1993, Ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code, Title IX, Zoning Code, Article 1, Introduction and Establishment, Section 902.03, Zoning Map, to rezone several parcels from the RIV GI Riverfront General Industrial Subdistrict to RIV IMU Riverfront Industrial Mixed Use Subdistrict in the Hazelwood neighborhood of the 15th Ward in the 31st Ward.
Thank you. Councilman Wilson, Chair of Land Use and Economic Development. Councilwoman Warwick, thank you.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill Number 1994, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of City Planning to enter into an agreement or agreements between the City of Pittsburgh and Bloomfield Garfield Corporation for the installation and maintenance of a mural at Leslie Recreation Center at no cost to the city. Bill Number 1995, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of City Planning to enter into an agreement or agreements between the City of Pittsburgh and Casey Dro Cultural Productions doing business as the Art Supply Company for the installation and maintenance of a photo installation at Beachview Healthy Active Living Center at no cost to the city.
And on behalf of myself, thank you.
Council President Lavelle presents Bill Number 1996, Communication from Jake Pollack, Director of the Office of Management and Budget, submitting to City Council the attached status update from the Grants Office for the week ended June 27, 2025, and Bill Number 1997, Communication from City Controller Rachel Heisler, submitting a special report on inclusionary zoning and affordable housing financing dated June 2025.
I need a motion to read, receive, and file.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Bills have been read, received, and filed. That takes us to reports of committee for final action, beginning with Councilwoman Erica Strasburger, presenting the Committee of Finance and Law.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilperson Strasburger presents Bill Number 1979, reported to Committee on Finance and Law for June 25, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1940, Resolution amending Resolution 953 of 2024, which authorized 52 open-end professional services agreements with multiple vendors to provide on-call professional services as needed by various departments of the City of Pittsburgh, with each agreement being at an amount not to exceed $1,500,000 annually for a 3-year term, by authorizing an additional 41 agreements for an updated total of 93 open-end professional services agreements. Bill Number 1941, Resolution amending Resolution 954 of 2024, which authorized 52 open-end professional services agreements with multiple vendors to provide on-call professional services as needed by the various departments of the City of Pittsburgh, with each agreement being at an amount not to exceed $750,000 annually for a 3-year term, by authorizing an additional 41 agreements for an updated total of 93 open-end professional services agreements.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley. Mrs. Kell Smith.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill having received the legal required numbers of votes is passed finally. That moves us to Councilwoman Barbara Ward, presenting the Committee of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Barb Warwick presents Bill Number 1980, Report of the Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure for June 25, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1942, Resolution amending Resolution Number 322 of 2025, effective May 29, 2025, entitled Resolution Authorizing the Mayor and the Director of Finance to enter into an easement agreement or agreements with Duquesne Light Company for the installation and maintenance of one pole and wire on and over city-owned parcel IDs 29B212, Romeo Street, Council District 3, 29B180, Romeo Street, Council District 3, 29B158, Bates Street, Council District 3, 29B157, Bates Street, Council District 3, at no cost to the city, by authorizing the installation and maintenance of 4 poles, 3 anchors, and wires on and over city-owned parcels at no cost to the city. Bill 1944, Resolution authorizing the mayor, the director of the Office of Management and Budget, and the director of the Department of City Planning to apply for grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development's Pennsylvania Strategic Investments to Enhance Sites program to provide funding for planning around the South Hills Junction. The grant proposal asked is $250,000 for this stated purpose. Bill 1945, Resolution providing for an agreement or agreements with Larson Design Group, Inc., for costs associated with construction inspection for the Liberty Avenue HSIP project, providing for the payment of the cost thereof, cost not to exceed $1,476,674.46, reimbursable at 80%. Bill 1946, Resolution providing for a supplemental agreement or agreements with Alfred Bench and Company for costs associated with the preliminary engineering phase of the Swinburne Bridge Replacement Project, providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $1,308,284.86, an increase of $477,712.39 from the previously executed agreement, reimbursable at 95%. Bill number 1947, Resolution providing for an agreement or agreements with Whitman Record and Associates LLP for costs associated with construction inspection for the Penn Avenue Phase 2 reconstruction project, providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $1,338,158.03, reimbursable at 80%. Bill number 1948. Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement or agreements and amendments with Norfolk Southern Railway Company to allow positive train control equipment to remain at current location in Allegheny Commons Park. This agreement would supersede the September 19, 2017 temporary right of entry to install a temporary license to maintain positive train control equipment in Allegheny Commons Park between the city of Pittsburgh and Norfolk Southern Railway Company at no cost to the city.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Councilwoman Smith.
Thank you. On just Bill 1944, I'm going to abstain because even though it's predominantly in Councilman Charlin's district, I heard from some of my residents that are not supportive of it. But I'm hoping that going forward, Councilman Charlin will make sure that they also have meetings with the MWCDC and the community group, and not just the community groups, but a general public meeting with the community to hear what their concerns are.
Thank you. Any further discussion, Councilman Warwick?
Oh, I guess interrogatory. I just wanted to check with Councilman Charlin on how he would like us to vote.
She's just discussing Bill 1944, the South Hills Junction.
The South Hills.
He's supportive.
I would like this to be passed
Okay.
because I don't think that we can apply for I think we'll miss the grant application if we don't pass it today.
Okay. And was there another one, Councilwoman, that was?
It was in Sheridan, but it's not on here
But
today.
it's not on here. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all.
Thank you. And this is his district, so I do respect that, so I want to make sure but I want to make sure my area that borders it has a voice. I'm sorry, Councilman.
Understood. Any further discussion? Councilman Charlin.
If I may, I understand Councilman Cale Smith's fears, and I think that there is a history in our districts of things being done without having discussions with the community. This grant, if we do receive it, will help those discussions, and will finance those discussions as we move forward with what is feasible in terms of utility work and hillsides and geotechnical and all of that, those sort of things, but will allow us to move forward with that. I would also recommend that we make sure that Shoup from City Planning is a mainstay at Mount Washington CDC like he has been at Beltsuver. If that's what we need to do moving forward.
Can I just respond?
Councilwoman Smith.
I just want to respond real quickly. I appreciate that you feel that that's what this is, that this will give them the opportunity to have those conversations, but they had a meeting scheduled with the MWCDC and they canceled it and never rescheduled. And then but the MWCDC is not at a point now where they speak for any part of the entirety of Mount Washington or Duquesne Heights. So I'd really like to have just a public meeting where anybody can attend, but also that they're heard. But I'm just going to say, I understand the idea of the grant, but the fact that we have to get a grant to pay people to have meetings with our community when we have tremendous amount of city planners, we have people that work in all of our offices, we have people that work in various departments for the administration. I mean, it's almost comical that now we have to have a grant instead of using the people we're already paying. But with that said, I know that you have a bigger picture in mind, so I'm just going to say, for me today, I'm just going to abstain and hope that moving forward, you'll make sure that Mount Washington and Duquesne Heights are also heard. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Cale Smith.
Abstain.
On all of them?
Just this bill, I'm sorry, abstain on Bill 1944 and aye on all other votes.
Okay. Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
8 ayes on bills 1942, 1945, 1946, 1947, and 1948, and 7 ayes, 1 abstention on bill 1944.
Bills having received the legal required number of votes is passed finally. That moves us to Councilman Bobby Wilson, presenting the Committee of Land Use Economic Development. Councilwoman Warwick for Councilman Wilson.
Thank you.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill Number 1981, reported to Committee on Land Use and Economic Development for June 25, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1851, resolution approving a conditional use application under the Pittsburgh Code Title 9, Zoning, Article 5, Chapter 911, Section 91104A64, to the Neighborhood Academy property owner for authorization to construct additions to a school, elementary or secondary, general use at 709 North Aiken Avenue, parcel 81S63, zoned R1DL, single unit detached residential, low density, 10th Ward, Council District Number 9. Bill Number 1949, resolution further amending Resolution 797 of 2017, as amended, effective December 28, 2017, entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2018 Capital Budget and the 2018 Community Development Block Grant Program and the 2018 through 2023 Capital Improvement Program by reducing fair housing by $8.80, reducing facility improvements, recreation, and senior centers by $12,783.51, reducing facility improvements, city facilities by $3,542.15, reducing community-based organizations by $100, and increasing CDBG personnel $16,434.46.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when her name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Kill-Smith.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received the legal required number of votes, is passed finally. That moves us to Councilwoman Teresa Kill-Smith, presenting the Committee of Recreation, Youth, and Senior Services.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Teresa Kell-Smith presents Bill Number 1983, reported to Committee on Recreation, Youth, and Senior Services for June 25, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1939, resolution amending Resolution 333 of 2024, authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Parks and Recreation on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into a professional services agreement with Starfire Corporation for the display of a fireworks show in conjunction with the City of Pittsburgh's Independence Day Festival for a 3-year term at a total amount not to exceed $252,200 by modifying the code account to include payment from the general fund.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when her name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Kill-Smith.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received the legal required numbers of votes, is passed finally. That takes us to Councilwoman Deborah Gross, presenting the Committee of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
Thank you, Councilman
Thank you.
President.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill Number 1982, reported to Committee on Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology for June 25, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1963, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Innovation and Performance to enter into an agreements and/or a memorandum of understanding with the Logistics Management Institute doing business as Noble Reach Foundation for the purpose of receiving grant funds in an amount not to exceed $78,000 to support one fellowship position in data science and one fellowship position in cybersecurity. A local match not to exceed $152,000 will bring the total project cost to amount not to exceed $230,000.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when her name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Would the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley. Sorry.
Aye.
Mrs. Kell-Smith.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received the legal required votes, is passed finally. And finally, Councilman Kari Mosley presenting the Committee on Intergovernmental Educational Affairs.
I have no papers.
He doesn't have any? I apologize. Thank you for the clarification.
No problem, Mr. President.
That takes us to motions and resolutions. Councilwoman Gross?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, I'd like to motion for a cablecast public hearing on Bill 2025-2000.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We will work with you to get that scheduled, and we'll probably do so shortly coming off of recess in order to make your timeline.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. Councilman Charlin.
I would like to call for a post agenda on the controller's most recent report on IZ.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed?
And I would also like an opportunity, so over this weekend, I spent the weekend with the Southside Entertainment Patrol, touring with them to see what the night looks like from their eyes. And, you know, I'm very thankful for that experience. I do want to apologize to the rest of the council members because I do have the best officers in the Southside Entertainment Patrol, and they're mine, and you can't have them. So 99% of interactions are incredibly positive. You know, we'd see people coming down, thanking the officers for being there, officers welcoming people to the street, really acting like that community police work that we're looking for. Until at the end of the night when, and we also had, Tyler Boyd was hosting his birthday party at one of the establishments, so that created a logistical nightmare, tried to get them in and out safely. But until the end of the night when I was standing with my commander, you know, commanders are usually not on the street at 2 a.m., but I have a very special commander, and Commander Abraham, who was down with me, and shots were fired. And to watch my commander and all the other officers, you know, and I'm supposed to be standing next to him on his hip the whole night, to watch him, you know, run right into danger when shots were fired. It was really impressive to see what happens there. As we say often, you know, they run towards danger as everyone is running away, and there's probably a phenomenal video of me running away from that while everyone else is running into that. So, you know, I just want to acknowledge how lucky we are to have the officers that we do have. It is an unbelievable amount of resources that we are using for Saturday nights in Southside right now, and 99% of the bars and establishments are contributing to the economy and are very beneficial. We do have one or two bad actors that I'm going to be working on very closely here, but you know, just want to acknowledge what phenomenal work is being done by our police, making sure that they're keeping everyone safe and welcoming folks into the districts there. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your work, and thank you for your acknowledgement of our police force. Councilwoman Kell-Smith?
Thank you. I just want to say I appreciated seeing you in your little vest there.
That is department protocol.
I wanted to give you a chance to say that. But, and I also think that we do have a great commander in Commander Abrams, and we have several, you know, across the city of Pittsburgh. I have a great one with Commander Ripple as well. But we do share Zone 3, and so a lot of times when they're trying to do the things that need to be done in the south side to keep massive amounts of people safe, there is no one responding to calls in Mount Washington and South Shore and other places. And I think that we really need to start talking, collectively to people that can shut down bars. We need to look at our disruptive property laws and that entire committee and where that's going and where that's been and what they've been looking at, because I think these are some of the places and some of the things we should be helping each other with, so that that way our officers aren't put all in one place. And I do know the need is strong there, but it's also very strong in Mount Washington, and those people in Grandview Avenue also pay a lot of taxes too and contribute to the city in many ways, but they're very disgusted with what's happening up there too. So I hope we can work together on that and really look into the disruptive properties a little bit more strongly too. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members? If not, meeting announcements. This afternoon at 1 o'clock, Council will hold an executive session on Bill 1989 as relates to litigation. Tomorrow, Wednesday, July 2nd at 9:30 a.m., Council will hold a pre-agenda interview for the Gender Equity Commission. At 10 a.m., Council will hold our standing committee meeting. Speaker registration will close at 9 a.m. To register to speak at these meetings, please fill out the sign-up form on the Council meeting webpage. By the deadline, you may also call the clerk's office at 412-255-2138. We need a motion to excuse the absent member, approve the minutes, and adjourn the meeting.
So, second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.